C.S. Lewis is a well-known author who has written famous books such as Chronicles of Narnia, which is a movie picture as well. He's written Mere Christianity and the Screwtape Letters. He was an atheist for much of his life, but then later on converted into Christianity and has some interesting perspectives on the Christian way of life. In this video, I'll talk about a chapter called Morality and Psychoanalysis, which is from C.S. Lewis's book Mere Christianity. I'm Dr. Anthony Collada. I'm a board-certified psychiatrist, and I'm trained in different types of therapy and have some knowledge about the psychoanalysis that is described in this chapter. C.S. Lewis neatly describes that Christianity aims to help make humans right, and that psychoanalysis essentially does the same thing or tries to do the same thing. This is true in a way because psychoanalysis and psychotherapy helps to correct people's incorrect ways of thoughts, their incorrect feelings, and helps with their actions. It really aims to try to make people's life less self-destructive and more constructive for themselves and others. C.S. Lewis basically says that people have these moral choices to make and they can choose what they want to do, whether they do good or they do evil. He compares that to psychology, in which people basically have these feelings and emotions based on some of the choices that they make or based on what goes on around them. Some emotions may be normal, such as being afraid in life-threatening situations or getting sad when losing a loved one. Other emotions may be abnormal, like an irrational fear of spiders or an irrational fear of cats. And now the main purpose of psychoanalysis, according to C.S. Lewis, is to remove or correct some of these negative fears, negative emotions, etc. Which is often correct. In mental health, we aim to treat people's negative or incorrect thoughts, feelings, or actions. But then C.S. Lewis states that once these are resolved, then the person is left with a choice of how to act. How one chooses the way to act is really the focus of morality. Now, he makes a careful distinction about how humans judge people and how God judges people. He basically says that the Christian God judges people on a deeper level and more on people's intent, whereas humans focus on the actions that people make. But that's not necessarily correct. C.S. Lewis provides an example about a person who has grown up in a difficult upbringing. If they do just the tiny bit of kindness to someone, that may be seen better in God's eyes as compared to if you and I, who had a normal upbringing, do a good deed to others. Just the smallest act of kindness might be better in God's eyes than a really good deed from someone who grew up in a normal environment. That is why Christians are taught not to judge. C.S. Lewis says that morality basically consists of these everyday choices that one makes, which helps them to become better people over time, and the choices they make will be better over time. And when someone is getting better, they're going to be able to understand the evil that they have done or tend to do. He compares that with someone who's evil to begin with, and they don't even see that they're evil, that there's something wrong with them. Now, I just want to tie this concept to morality because sometimes if we make immoral choices, that can lead to mental health suffering and disease. For example, if one raises their kids to believe that people are evil or cruel, this is going to affect the kid's mindset or attitude later on in life, and they may act in a very unhealthy or destructive way. If one is using drugs, this can lead them to have mental health consequences such as anxiety, depression, psychosis, trouble sleeping, and can lead to worse problems down the road such as addictions or other medical problems. If one is eating a lot of junk food, this can cause not only medical problems like obesity, high blood pressure, diabetes, but can lead to psychological problems like anxiety and depression. If one chooses not to help others or one chooses not to work, that can lead to financial stress, that can lead to homelessness, being in debt. It can lead to a lot of stress, which can worsen mental health over time. Now, I'm not saying that all people with mental health problems are necessarily committing sins or doing something wrong in God's eyes, but I'm saying that some of the moral choices that people make can cause mental health problems or mental diseases to occur. So in the path to health and healing, it's really going to be essential to prioritize the relationship with God in one's life, and that is going to be an important process to getting better.